morning, gang. Hello. Haircut. Which one? All of them. Yes, haircut. Back from home. And this morning was supposed to be a sizing stream, but I forgot to put the glue in the water last night to soak. So when I got up this morning, plan B, carving. So I'll do my sizing tonight instead. We should have been sizing, so. All right, let's get to this. Everybody around here now is getting desperate for this. They're bugging me, David, when's this going to be ready? It's supposed to ship January 1st. You've still got 2 color blocks to carve. The printers want to get busy. They want to go on holidays at the end of the year. So everybody here now is on it. I think we're not going to make it. They may be right. I don't know. Who knows? Being in Ome yesterday was funny. It's the first time I've been there for, I don't know, you tell me, when's the last time I got a haircut? Like 2 months or something, I don't know. And there's a number of reasons to go, of course. You know, I have to speak to all the staff and stuff and see what's going on, and there's a bunch of work I have to do myself out there. But during the time I'm there, because it's been so long since I've been there, everybody wants to talk to me. But I mean, as in not openly in the middle of the room, they all have things they want to tell me. So sometime during the day, each one of them tries to contrive a moment when I go into the next room or something. They slip in there and say, "Can I have a word with you for a minute?" and stuff like this. You know? When I haven't seen them for a few months. So all of them have some little messages or things they want to say or ask or something. So yesterday, every time I tried to do something myself, I'd get up to the upstairs storage room or whatever, try to look for something I was supposed to be trying to find. A staff member comes in and says, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And it went like that basically all day yesterday. I should get out there more often. It's really absolutely necessary to get there more often. You know, you can't ignore your employees for a couple of months. And the Ome people really have a feeling that we're ignoring them, that all the business is Asakusa, and that's all that Dave cares about anymore. And they really feel neglected. zoom in a bit closer now, sorry about that. Right. Here we are, comments. The paper is out. There's only one person here upstairs today, chat. And there's a special event going on this week. A bunch of our people, Kawai-san is off this week, Sugi-san is off this week, Ishikawa-san is off this week, Aoyama-san is off this week. They're all in Kyoto today. My friend Asuka Motoharu, the guy who runs the Takumi workshop, the carver, friend of mine, he organized a study trip to Kyoto. They're going to visit a carver's workshop, a printer's workshop, I don't know. And then they're going up to see the papermaker, Iwana-san, the papermaker up in Fukuiken. So he's organized a sort of a study play autumn travel trip. Gathered together a bunch of his students and a bunch of my staff members. I know they're associates of his too. They went with him. So Sugi-san's gone. Sugi-san, Aoyama-san, Ishikawa-san, who else? Kawai-san. I forget. A bunch of them are gone this week. So upstairs there's only one printer today. That's Today-chan printing. And he let me know about it. Dave, do you want to drop along with us? And it just wasn't possible for a few reasons. And I just too much to do. Trying to carve this print, get it ready for January. We still have a New Year's print to make. More on that later in today's stream. That's one of the things I did when I was in Ome yesterday. I went through my collection in Ome yesterday to look for possible ideas or thoughts or images for a New Year's card. And I think I came up with one, so we'll have a look at it a bit later. It's supposed to be top secret. Did I just talk through it? Chinese New Year stuff, I never, we never use those here. I have an aversion to astrology and that kind of stuff, so I've never, ever, all the years I've been sending out a New Year's card, I've never used the theme as it. Having said that, Jed snuck one by me last year. We used a sort of a nice image last year of a girl with a pet. The pet was a dog, and it turned out it was the year of the dog, and they fooled me because I hadn't noticed that. But no, we don't use the astrology symbols. So this next New Year's card will have nothing to do with pigs or boars or whatever that word is. I think that black line is the umbrella line, which we don't need here. This is yellow. that might be the end of our quiet work here this morning. Let's see, there's the one lanterns on one side, lanterns on the other side, doorways. I think the next bit of our work is going to be a bit noisy. It's noise. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Let's see, here we go. John's back, is he? He's over there. John was in here yesterday morning. You can't be back in Kentucky already, Tennessee. I guess you are. Question about the welcome cat print. What are the colors of the backgrounds? I can see green, yellow, pink, and a light purple, lilac. Did I carve the windows? Yes, the windows are here. They're cut. Give me some credit. I cut those first, then I cut the lanterns and the lanterns. The windows are cut. So, before persuading. Okay, sorry about this, guys. It's going to get noisy. You know how it is. It won't be brutal. This is a very small area, so I'm not really smashing here. It'll be more tapping. If I make a cut too deep, can that be fixed, or do you have to start all over? If I make a cut too deep is not a problem. Am I clearing away too much wood? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Okay, let's make some noise. It's funny, this block actually is a bit of a hard block. Down at that level when you're carving, you don't feel the hardness so much because you're dealing with just millimeters and small millimeters, and it just feels so soft. But when you get back up here, I can realize this is a hard little piece of wood. Be careful, if I don't be careful, I'm gonna tear that off. There's a little piece of the window right here. question in the box, right? Hang on a second. Okay, a bit noisier, sort of bigger hand mouth. Just be a couple of minutes, then we'll be over the noise and it'll be back to quiet work. So just be a couple of minutes. This is really hard area, this one, really hard, like a rock. Whoa. Like a rock, like a stone. Well, the grain is this way, and I can't cut back this way, but I'll just put an edge on here where the limit, that's where I want to cut to. But I can't go this way because it'll split the wood. And then come up to that line. Nobody's gone home. Too noisy, can I? Anyway, just be a minute here. Just this last corner. Wrong way. Okay, for those who stayed with it, now it's going to get a bit quieter. Nobody left, can I? Oh, have we got that same problem again? So, God. When I'm banging and it hits the tripod to show, you gotta let me know about that. Louder, type louder. Win some, lose some. Okay, let's get back in closer now to finish off the last. Talking about the carver who wants to avoid making noise. I chatted with her yesterday actually about that. I was talking with her on the phone about the new job. We just sent her the new job for the next few months. She's going to be working on the Ramen Cats. Now she's working on the next print in the Sushi Cats series. And I chatted with her about that. I saw the fact that the block she sent me had so many small, it was full of small little ding, 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 and it had no smooth areas. And it was funny, she said that actually she does have larger chisels. And she's, as I mentioned before, she's partly worried about noise from the neighbors, but partly it seems it's just her personality. She doesn't really want to work with a hammer and banging around and stuff, and she's quite content to nibble away at these things. And, from my point of view, she's crazy because it takes 10 times as long. But she's in she doesn't care. As I mentioned before, she's living at home. She's not really trying to make a living out of this. And she just doesn't care. She's happy to nibble away instead of being, more brutal and banging. And for her, the efficiency part, making, a living at this, getting the block out of here in a reasonable amount of time, it's not even a consideration. And it's frustrating for me because we want to make more prints, We have a subscription series that actually has deadlines. So, we're a living, working shop. We're not a hobby outfit here. But her approach to it is X% hobbyist, really. And she's doing good work, and we need carvers, so I can't, just toss her aside. But it's a bit frustrating, I would like more production from her, but she's not interested in ramping up, So you gotta go with what you get. Nothing I can say about it, But it wasn't because she didn't know or didn't have the tool, or couldn't afford it or something, whatever. I think I mentioned yesterday we would have sent her some tools, if you needed some bigger chisels, we'll go ahead and buy them and send them over, But no, that's just her style and her pace and her approach. have we here? Oh. Is it that time already? 8:44. Look at that. I'm way behind schedule here. I was thinking it was about 8:30. Morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How was it?
Huh? Oh, interesting. Okay. Talk to you later when the stream's gone.
Okay.
People are funny. People are funny.
Yes.
It's been a real quiet thing here. I was banging up to just now, and they've just sort of gone into a shell here. And also, while I was banging, it turns out the table was knocking the tripod.
So the camera's going.
And they're all like, "I'm type louder, otherwise I won't hear it." So.
There's no way to turn on audio notifications for the chat. Well, I guess it would just be constant ding, 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 ding. That wouldn't be helpful.
Yeah. Can we turn this around here? I'll do my usual squeeze in with this plug. Hang on a sec. There we are. Are we safely around? Yeah, we've got that figured out now.
Okay. Haircut's looking nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I cut them all.
Yeah.
She was in her usual thing, like she's happy to see me. She can't complain. Mm-hmm. She's not happy because it's been like
months,
6 months or whatever it was. So she's in a. If she bitches too much, then I won't come back.
Subtle things like, wow, it's gotten pretty long this time.
She's okay. It's basically the same conversation every time I'm there. We could just tape record it and just play it back. Before I forget, something on our to-do list, on our ever-growing to-do list.
Okay.
We need to write a little small item in the shop manual here about how to close up the shop. Because whoever closed up last night didn't have a clue how to do it.
Oh, no.
And the door was locked, but that's about it.
Okay.
Lights were all on, but the flag was still outside. What the hell? Well, they didn't know. I mean, I'm not yelling at somebody because they've never done it before. They don't know what to do. So we need a one-page or something, a one-page thing that just sits on the wall behind the counter, so that when people are in that situation, all of a sudden, oops, they didn't get back, so they have to close out. They need to know what to do. So.
Okay.
And we were lucky. It was a Tuesday night. If it had been a Friday night, that flag would have been gone. Absolutely.
Oh, because partiers?
Yeah, partiers going home. They just grab stuff, The cones get kicked around. The woman across the street, the rope they put up between the cones, it's always thrown out of the street. Friday night, Saturday night.
So weird.
And we could have easily lost our flag.
Apparently, I was announced in the chat 30 seconds before I appeared on the camera.
Also, it's time for Cameron, is it? Are we that predictable?
Yes. Someone asked, is there a question in the question mail?
Oh, there was. Yes. It was 10 or 15 minutes ago. While I was banging, I thought, no point looking at it while I'm banging because I can't talk and answer at the same time anyway.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Thanks for the reminder.
Yep.
You remember where it is?
Yep. Okay. Okay. It's one you have talked about. Someone could probably get the bot to help us out. But if you make a cut too deep, can that be fixed, or do you have to start all over?
Well, I was asked in the chat. I saw that, and I'm not sure what you mean. If I make a cut too deep, why would it be a problem? I know.
Yeah.
If I make a cut too deep, like here, I'm taking away wood. If I go too deep here, it's not.
It's just out of the way.
Yeah, it's out of the way.
But perhaps they're saying more if you make a cut where it's not supposed, where it doesn't belong. But yeah, let's see. Can someone help us out with repairs? I think is the command.
If we cut away wood that's supposed to stay, then it has to be repaired. But if I cut too deep, if I cut away wood that's not needed, then we don't need it. I'm really, without wanting to be obtuse, I don't quite understand what would be a problem here.
Have you blocked the robot? someone used the
no.
command and said repair, and then we've got user hidden, message hidden from blocked
But
user.
that's just for me, and I don't know how to. We've been through this a dozen times. If you click the link now, user hidden, it pops it open. Now
Okay.
click it again where it says printmaking bot, which brings up our menu. I can add it as a friend. That's
Ban
not what I want to
user,
do. I don't
timeout,
want to ban
mod.
it. Then I click the extended thing, and it says I can block it or I can report it. It's not blocked. It's not nothing. And I've been through this every single day. I don't know what else I can do.
Can you guys see what the printmaking bot is saying, or is it blocked for you as well, or only on our side? I guess we'll find out.
I have no idea. I've
That's
been through
really
this every
bizarre.
day now since all the changes happened. I
Yeah.
need to
Huh. Yes, to which
look at,
thing?
okay, but before we click this, did they see that? We saw
Okay.
blocked user, and I think it's just as though because
Blocked from-
every person can block. Mr. A can block Mr. B, but
Okay.
it doesn't block Mr. B from the rest of the chat. And I think what's happened is the printmaking bot seems to be blocked for me, but
okay.
when we click that,
Yeah.
it gave me the option to block it. It didn't give me the option to unblock it. I really
And
don't know
now,
what's happening.
now he's working after without any.
Yeah,
Blocks.
but I never see it
so-
until that first one comes up.
Huh. I wonder.
But for everybody else, they're seeing it. I think, is that right? You guys have been seeing the bot messages during the chat today?
You never see that he's blocked.
Unless each individual person has blocked it.
Right.
So at some point when that chaos was happening a few days ago, I must have blocked it.
Yeah.
And I blocked it actually for myself, but not from the stream. And now I don't know how to unblock it.
Interesting.
And the other day we were talking about this and somebody said, okay, here's what you do. Dave. You type into the chat window, I think it was a command, it was something, @unblock, blah, blah, blah. And I did that
Yeah.
and nothing has changed.
Maybe the bot blocked you.
I don't know. Without wanting to be obtuse about this, I don't have a clear understanding of what's happening.
Yeah.
But this is happening every day. I don't see bot messages until I go through that.
Until you manually.
Yeah.
Okay. Block it and unblock it. One day. That's the most common question. Have you tried switching it on and off again? Or off and on again? I guess block it and unblock it. Someone else suggested.
Go ahead, do what you want. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing. I've done the same thing every day now.
Yeah.
I click the thing that says, show this message.
Okay, I've hit block.
But is that blocking it? Remember, we're a mod, so is that blocking it from the stream, or is that blocking it for us as a user to see it?
It's
What
not
is-
working. I hit block, and then I used the command to make it do something again, and I still see the message, so I don't know what's going on. That's so weird. Yeah, because there's ban, so I can ban it entirely from everything. But time out the user, mod user. Oh, now the messages have vanished.
I mean, the bot itself has mod powers. It's actually one of the mods. That's how it's able to. That's how the Last Known God was able to get in there and program it and do stuff. So I gave it some sort of powers back in the day. So maybe I can't block it. I don't know.
User successfully unignored. So maybe it'll
User
work.
successfully unignored.
Yeah. Thanks. We'll give that a shot.
Yeah, but remember, because it's only the first time.
Right.
So we can't tell until tomorrow when we start the stream again. So.
Okay.
The building across the street, it's nearly down to the ground now.
Really?
They've been bringing it down from the top down.
Wow.
And bringing down the scaffolding as they come. So it's going to be one company which is here removing the building.
Wow.
Then they're going to leave an empty piece of land, and another company's going to come in and put it up.
Wow.
Before the end of the year, I don't know, or do I misunderstand the contract on the wall? You know? It says by December 28th. So.
I wonder what they.
I was really nervous about the asbestos thing.
Yeah.
And they've got it shrouded.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of days ago, they were doing something, and I guess they dropped something as part of the procedure or as an accident. And there was a gigantic crash, and everybody ran outside and quit going on. There was a huge puff of giant dust outside the top of the thing. They had been crashed. And I'm like, I came in and closed all the windows and doors quickly. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. And as soon as they're done with that, the better I'll feel about it.
Mm-hmm. They're bringing up the owl again.
Bringing up the owl.
Said we last saw an owl 5 days, 23 hours, and 32 minutes ago.
I saw plenty of owls yesterday.
I bet you did.
We're checking Day-chan's work. Day-chan turned in a bunch more owls, you know.
Yeah. And then technically I can see an owl right now on the board behind me, so I'm pointed to
There
it.
you are, then that's it. So. Gee.
Question from Deadly Dog. Does Dave sand the blocks with a fine sandpaper after carving? Someone answered no.
No. This is raw wood, period.
Yeah.
Raw wood. The wood gets planed before we start carving. There's no varnish, there's no dressing, there's no nothing. It's raw wood. We cut raw wood, and when they finish, we wash off any paper that's stuck on here still. Then throw on the pigment and get printing. There's no treatments, no varnishes, no sandings, no shellacs, no nothing. Just raw cherry wood. I can't speak for other kinds of wood. People who work in Sheena plywood and stuff, I've heard that they rub glue on it and white glue and sand it and buff it and do all kinds of stuff. But I know nothing about that at all. As far as the hardwoods go, the cherry woods, we cut and print on raw wood, and it works just fine.
Sorry, my voice is gone. How is the new block you carved for the owls there?
Well, that's the one they used. I know Day-chan, it's actually mixed feelings. I know Day-chan first started, what she did was she started to do the background color by printing twice with light colors. using the old block for one impression and the new block for the second impression. They don't quite line up around the moon. There's a bit of a, like a 0.1 millimeter off, and it gives a bit of a fuzzy effect around the moon. So rather than just recard everything, I just told them, just pick one and choose and do it. It's funny because the batch of prints that Ishikawa-san turned in last week, she used the old block. It worked just fine with no white stripes. But the batch prints that Rei-chan couldn't make it work. So she used the new block.
And then those ones came out fine too.
Yeah, but I know why. She's using too much pressure. And when you use too much pressure, it picks up wood grain. So she's, because of her high pressure approach to this, she's picking up the hard spots in the wood. And I told her, dump on more paste, back off the pressure. And she says, yes, yes, yes. And she smiles and she eagerly says, yes, yes, yes. And then just goes right back to doing it the old way. She's got sort of muscle memories built in here. But she came up with some good prints, but she used the new block, the one that doesn't have any hard spots.
Got it.
This is hard. This whole wood here, this whole strip along the edge is really, really, really hard. When I was hammering with the bigger chisel a while ago, it's like a stone. Now, really, you could break your chisel easy if you're not careful.
Not sure how to say it. A new Maui. I don't know. It says, Cameron and Dave, have you seen the picture on Facebook of a woodblock print with a woman cutting her kimono so as not to wake the cat? Do you know who did it, or is there any other story behind it? I have not seen it, but it sounds funny. The cat fell asleep on her kimono, so she's cutting it rather than moving it to wake up the cat.
This is new to me. I'm sorry. Can you send the link so we can have a look at it?
Yeah. I wonder if it's a new image or
Just something old.
just an old
I could imagine.
comedic ukiyo-e image. Apparently it's viral. Well, I haven't contracted it yet. It says, we've seen it on the stream before. Maybe.
Cutting her kimono to avoid waking a cat? You've seen it here? I don't have any memory of this at all. I'm sorry. You went to Google, the Chrome, did you?
Yeah, I just went up one page to find it.
Be careful with rotating this computer.
She's using a knife to cut it while the cat's asleep on the left.
No idea. It looks legit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks pretty old.
It's so small I can't see.
Yeah. They've got a higher resolution version. Oh yeah, much higher. Oh, and that makes it look a lot newer.
Who is this?
Way too new. I don't think it's.
Oh, no, it's not
perfect.
No.
Yeah.
No. No way. That face, there's no way that's an old ukulele. This is some new drawing.
Yeah. It's funny, when it was small, it looked almost legit, but.
No. It's a modern something.
Yeah. Photoshop brush tools. Still funny though. Is the writing real Japanese? It looks.
It's Hintagana, I can't tell.
Yeah.
It could be copied from something else. It could be a really nice, somebody with very high calligraphy skills doing that. Yeah. Or just copy and paste it from some old print. I don't know. The image of the woman herself, and face and the hands and stuff. There's no way that's not an old Japanese print, period.
They're talking about shellacking wood. One person said he's been using pine and basswood. Interesting, much softer things.
Matt Brown uses it, linden, basswood, another name for the same thing. So.
Okay.
But even I think Matt Brown, even though he's using that wood, I think he uses it raw, as far as I know.
Wow. So why not shellac? Someone says it makes the pigment pool on the surface, producing bad prints, but I guess I don't know. You said you don't have any experience with it either.
We don't need it. I know. If
Yeah.
the wood surface was sealed, we can't use this. I know. We need the water, the pigments, to be able to sink down into the wood.
Yeah.
And if the surface is sealed, it's like using a metal plate or something. We can't work that way in our tradition. I mean, I'm not saying woodblock prints can't be made that way. In our tradition,
Yeah.
we don't do that. We want the wood to absorb the stuff and give it back, and absorb and give it back, and absorb and give it back.
Yeah.
So the surface can't be sealed for us. Modern people doing whatever work, yeah, I know I can't speak in any way for that.
Good point about the picture. It says the cat looks too cat-like to be a real old Yoda image.
Yeah. Good point, yeah, interesting. So,
And the Japanese is impossible to read, so they nailed that part too. Thanks, guys.
one thing to do is just do a Google reverse image search and find out where it came from, the origin, you know.
Yeah.
That should be pretty good. I think Google find the earliest example of it. Somewhere on that. It's going to be quiet here for a few days now, staff-wise. They're all off in Kyoto to show today.
Yeah, so many people are off in Kyoto. I was surprised. They're all with Osaka Sensei, is that who it is?
So he's got sort of did a study tour on a / fall excursion.
Yeah.
Have them drinking and sit in some onsen's and make the excuse of studying woodblock brands.
Got it.
So. What's the time? I've got a small thing I'd like to show today. It's not a big show and tell at all. I've been disappointing people recently. For the show and tells, we did some really good ones a while back, and recently I haven't prepared anything, so I've just been showing some stuff that was on the bench.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been a really very interesting show and tell. But today I've got one that I didn't prepare as a show and tell. I went to Ome, and one of the goals about being in Ome yesterday was to go through my collection shelves and find something that maybe we could use for a New Year's card. Because remember, we had a couple of plans for a New Year's card, including one idea from the French couple.
Yeah.
But I am now really behind the 8 ball on time. And then the printers will be really behind the 8 ball on time. So we need an extremely simple image to be quick. So it's got to be something I can run out, maybe just 1 or 2 colors to print. Let me put this aside. Okay. And what I did, I went through some of the old folders I've got, and actually, before this, can you go to the David's Choice section there, and can you find a print that's there? It's a print of an old well. It's in the horizontal section of a well, and there's some, what's the name of the flower? Blue and red flowers. Begins with an A, not anemone. Asaga. Yes. Perfect. You're so
Morning
quick.
Glories.
I had Morning Glories.
Oh, and they're asking what color block is that? That one's
What
gonna
color?
be the orange.
This is the red. No, it's the red. Yellow. This is the corn. I don't Kantar described it very well. This is the corn block. Pop up the original for a second.
Okay, yeah. I'll do that while you.
Pop up the original here. It's
For
2019 series. Yeah. So you can't really see it here, but around those lanterns is a yellow glow of the lanterns, and this will be printed yellow. What you see is black here will be yellow, and over in the door frame too. So that's what this is. Anyway.
Okay.
Putting that aside just for a minute.
Morning Glories.
Oops, wrong way. I always do that the wrong way around, every single freaking time. Okay, it's a print in our catalog of Morning Glories, and this was part of my Studio Mono albums years ago. This is like 2003 or 2000 and whatever it was, I don't even know. And the original for this is interesting. Somebody was in the shop last week, and he picked up a copy a couple weeks ago, and he asked me, please send information about where it came from, because we had been chatting about it. I said the fact that I created the colors on this. The original was a black and white, and I created the colors. And his question was, it's from the era before color printing was invented. I said, no, actually, no, the original is actually from the Meiji era. But it was a black, it was just a line drawing. And it was from an old book, and it's actually an etched thing. It wasn't a woodblock print, it was an etching. And he's like, what? And I said, okay, well, next time I go to Ome, I'll find the book and take a couple of pictures and show you. So their stories are stacking up here. I went back and I found the old book to show him. And in the meantime, I'm looking through it and I thought, oh, there's something I can maybe use for this New Year's card. So anyway, long story short, what this is Itane, Bijutsu Sho, Cameron, help. And Bijutsu,
Art book.
Drawing book, Cho, that's the old kanji for Cho. I don't know. I'm showing my ignorance here. Anyway, it's an art book. And it's published in Meiji 23. Why that would be written on is a bit funny. Yeah. It had Meiji space 3 years. Anyway, it's Meiji 23, so it says. It's been a little
maybe
bit
the publisher used this front page for a lot of their books, and then they wrote in a different
Why
year.
would they have the 3?
Oh, yeah, that is weird. Okay.
And then March without the date. Sorry, Cameron.
Nope, you're right.
Anyway. Now, this is not woodblock printing. This is printed stuff. This is printing press stuff. But, the way the things, let me try and find the image here that we're talking about. It's a bunch of Chinese imagery. It's not actually very Japanese. It's a mix. There's some Japanese drawing. Oops, we've seen that one before. People who are longtime fans of my work, we've seen that one before. Come back to that later, just a minute. Where's the...
Some great stuff.
Here we are. Okay. Am I on the camera?
Mm-hmm. I think maybe go a little bit closer because it's so small and a bit washed out with the light. Okay.
So there we have.
You blew it up.
Original version. I blew it up to this size. Now what this is, when you put this under the microscope, this is not woodblock cut stuff printed on paper with a barrel. Yeah. This is printed in a printing press. It's metal plate stuff with rolled on ink. And how the plates were created, I'm not quite sure. I don't see, when I blow it up and look at it with a microscope, I don't see any sign that this was carved. You know, you can always see bits where there's a little nick or a little pop or a little stuff or where the knife hit the wrong line or something like that. And this shows nothing like that. So this was somehow taken from some kind of brushwork or drawing work and then etched maybe? I don't know, because look what we have here. If I come over here, many of these pages have the thing at 2 levels. There's a medium black, and is this showing on the screen? There's such a faint level here. And they have in some places done it well, and in some places they've kind of screwed it up. And we have here, we have the black, I'll say black instead of gray, and then the light ones are really too light. They've gone so light it's almost cloudy. So whether it's done with 2 plates or 1 plate and some lines are just so thin and fine, I don't know. I don't know enough about etching type techniques to be able to tell you that. But it is stupendously delicate and detailed.
And how it says, those peacock feathers did not impress me as simple or easy to carve or print for the New Year's card.
I'm not different.
That were right here.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the one I was going to pick for the New Year's card. No. What I was thinking for the New Year's card was there's a lot of Chinese stuff. There's a lot of Chinese imagery. Here, the New Year's card I'm thinking is going to be a cut from here. We have just simply a distant beach, little tiny boat in the front, Mount Fuji in the background, and I want to do this. I'll make some kind of crop of this that fits the shape we need. It won't be the whole long thin image. And I'm going to do it 2 blocks. And I'm going to try and find the hardest piece of freaking wood we've got in this building. And I may use one of those ones that he brought from Harald-san, left over from his dad.
Wow.
And I'm going to try and cut it as sharply as I possibly can. Then for printing, we're going to calendar the paper under the press to within an inch of its life. We're going to calendar the paper so thin and flat, and then try and print this with a kiss. That mountain. You see, you can barely see it.
Yeah.
So we'll print the first block normal in a gray black, and then we will kiss the mountain so that, is something there? No, I can't see. Wait a minute, hold it. Oh, I see, there's a mountain there.
Yeah.
I'll try and do that. And I might fall on my face, but whatever, we'll try it. And with 2 impressions, we can blow out a few hundred copies of this.
Yeah. Very cool.
And it's just a generic art book. And look at it again here too. This may not even show because there's a dragon in here, but it's been done in with two kind of plates, a darker plate and a lighter plate, and you can't really see the lighter one.
Yeah.
So I think from a printing point of view, I think the printers who did this, again, this is not woodblock printing. This is printing press people. I think they didn't quite get right what they should have done. But it's fabulous. It's fabulous stuff. And the drawing is some generic. They're mostly very, very Chinese influenced. Anytime there's furniture, it's Chinese furniture. The dress of these guys is there's a Chinese. He's an old sage or something, and in his garden there's a crane walking through the garden. This is from the era when things were coming apart. The old woodblock printmaking was being replaced by modern press printing, and there was whole different kinds of techniques and technologies being tried.
Yeah. What's the card in the
I
middle?
don't know. It's just a card.
Shido.
Oh, I'm serious. It's he must have clipped this. This is from an old newspaper. You can see the haft on. Remember when I was a little kid? That's what newspapers used to look like.
Yeah, they're saying the printing might be aquatint or mezzotint. I'm not familiar enough with any of these techniques.
I shouldn't spout off. There's no dot pattern. No matter how closely you zoom in with a microscope, there's no dot pattern. There's no halftone work at all here.
Okay.
And my understanding of mezzotint is there's quite you get from 0 to 100 there's a contrast scale, and there's none of that here. It's either black or it's the light on any given page. It varies from page to page, but on any given page, there's the 2 layers. There's the darker one and the lighter one. And things like this, you see this tone here, which looks like a medium grays. This is done with thickness of the line. It's like the wood engravers.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing here is a darker black is simply thicker lines. What you're seeing is a lighter black is thinner lines. But it's the same ink on the page.
Got it.
So I'm open to, I'm not... I don't know how it was done, but it's not woodblock work. But anyway, I saw that one a few years ago, and I thought, hey, I can make a very nice little print out of that. And we did. I cut it, I just blew it up, carved it, and colorized it. So this is Dave's original colorization of a Meiji book by an unknown designer. There's no designer's names associated with this. It's all anon. I forget where I got it. I just got it in some. This was before Yahoo Auctions. This is decades ago. I just must have got it in some used bookstore downtown. And I don't remember. $1, $10, $100. I don't remember what I paid for it. I'm sorry. It wouldn't have been that expensive, or I couldn't have picked it up. And that image I used for my New Year's card. I think when I became 50, I think I hid characters for 5 and 10 in the kimono pattern, and sent it out as my New Year's card. That was my self-image. I'd become 50. I was an old. I had become an old man. And it's all bound with junk paper inside. What you're seeing here, this looks like accounting paper. Men, women, what year you joined the school. They've bound it using. This page is split, and inside the pages they've bound it using some old leftover junk paper they had from something else.
Interesting.
So that could be researched, who cares, whatever. It's just, but it's clean. Because here's look at this. It's some kind of, what's the word, a phoenix or a bird, and they've done it so lightly that it a bit spoils the effect. And I don't know whether it's 2 plates or the plate has been adjusted in some way to make things show right. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to mine it for one more time. I've taken 2 prints out of here so far. Maybe there's more coming in the future. Someone's drawn on top. This black here, this is brushwork on top. So one previous owner of this book has scribbled in it at some places.
And it's exactly opposite of the other one. That looks like it's brushed on.
Yeah, this is too. So
Yeah.
I think someone's brushed it on. So I don't know why. No idea.
Interesting.
But that's drawn in. And there's a few earlier pages where there was some of the kids playing there. Somebody's drawn in over top of the kids.
Yeah.
There's a drawing. Somebody's brushed over top of some of these.
Interesting.
Anyway, I better get back to my work here. I've got about 10 minutes work
Yeah.
left on that block, right, before I finish it off.
Another 10 minutes of stream time.
Okay. Where we are on this print now, we've got, I have to finish clearing off this. That's the end of today's work, to clear this off. Then there is one face left. We've done, this is 6 now out of 7. I'll need that too again.
Yep.
Audrey saying, good morning. Come and say hello. Don't just run by. Stop and say hello for a minute. You know?
Good morning, everyone.
So she runs by.
Yeah. Yes. How do you usually blow your images up? Do you use a professional shop? No, you scan and.
Over the years,
Scale it
it's
up, right?
changed a lot. You know, back before we even had. I've been doing this since before we had computers here. So there's been everything. There's been what I did before I had computers here. We took a photocopy or photograph and went to the kind of place that makes blueprints for
Home.
architects and stuff. You know, yeah, home building. So, and they had these giant print. They could print something at 2 meters long. You know, so I had the things printed on that. Then I would trace it. I had a light here. My old carving bench had a glass pane on the top of it. And I traced it. Then I went back to that place because they had industrial. You know, you put this giant 2 meter long thing on their plate, and they could photograph it and shrink it down. Then once computers came along, we scan it at like 2400 or whatever, bring it into Photoshop, trace it on the top. So nowadays it's no problem at all. Just scan it high res and go from there.
I was amazed at how high the resolution goes on scanners.
Well, a lot of it's fake resolution. It's blurred out.
Yeah.
It's like the digital cameras, 100% zoom, or you know.
Yeah.
And that's not true. There's optical zoom and there's digital zoom.
Digital zoom.
And the scanners, to a
blurry.
large extent, are doing the same thing.
Zoom, is this not close enough for you?
Oh, did I zoom in?
I think it looks pretty good, but we've got zoom all caps with 4 O's.
Oh,
So.
so. Okay. Whatever. You want to see some bacteria walking around on my fingernails? Okay. For myself, I'm at lowest magnification in this scope. I can't zoom in anymore, because if I zoom in anymore, I get on 1 millimeter and I can't see what they're doing. So I'm zoomed out on the scope to max.
So we might have a better view than you do.
No, they're getting in closer than I am.
Yeah.
On the camera, if the camera zooms in, it's actually zoomed in closer than what I'm seeing through this lens. So.
Smallest answer. Oh, perfect.
Audrey-san, check the party. You're checking the parties. Good, because the 10 o'clock's full up for the show. So there was reservations overnight. And I'm not sure if there's enough paper, so it depends what the kids did yesterday. So please check that first before starting other things. So. Thank you. It seems quiet over there today. Is it, Cameron?
Yeah,
It's been a general quiet one right from the start, I think. So.
Yeah.
I think all my hammering earlier stunned everybody into silence, so I'm not sure.
Quitting Gummy asked, bearded man to bearded man, do you ever get cigarette smoke stuck to your beard or mustache, like if you go to a restaurant or something? Because none of us here smoke, but it's, You think you ever have the smell stuck on
I
you? I don't know.
avoid,
It's
as much as
interesting.
possible, I avoid smoking places. No,
Yeah.
I almost never go there. On the rare occasion when I come out, outside you bang yourself off and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I don't go to smoky places, period. I just avoid them. If they want to allow smoking, they don't get my business, period.
Yeah.
Life is too short to take that kind of risk.
Why was
Oh,
I
right,
not-
Dan. Hello, hello, hello. They're all waiting to say hello to you.
Oh wait, this way. Okay.
That was quick.
And good morning, wave bye.
How you doing?
Good.
Good, like British accent. Good. So it's back to the normal pattern of Ladies' Day. Wednesday for so long was Shiba-san, Dei-chan, and Audrey-san. And it got broken a little bit because of different people offer different things. But
Yeah.
we're back to normal now. I was thinking Audrey-san might be down in Kyoto with Asuka Sensei.
Yeah.
I think she has too many jobs, too much work.
Must be. Is Shiba-san coming later today, or is she out?
I think
with
she's
them?
in today, right? Isn't she? Shiba-san's in today, right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think so.
She's too busy as well. And I think I just about have this cleared now.
All right.
This is now block number 6 out of 7. Today was actually today was supposed to be sizing. The women need paper on Friday.
Yeah.
So it means I have to do it Wednesday, ship it Thursday.
Yeah.
But I forgot to put the glue in last night.
Oh no.
So what I'll do is I'll either do a late sizing tonight, if I
Yeah.
feel like it after. It depends what kind of day we have in the shop.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow morning stream here will be a sizing stream here. I'm not sure. TBA, to be announced.
Yes.
We might be carving the last of these faces, or we'll be sizing. Not sure which. And then after that, we are going to have some kind of test printing stream, because
Yeah.
this has to be test proofed and test printed. And then we have to get up and running and print it. Get going. This is supposed to be shipped January 1st. The January subscription prints never get shipped January 1st. They get shipped about January 8th or 9th or 10th. Because
Because the post
office
offices
shut down,
are
New Year,
all
what it
shut
is, and
down,
staff has holidays and stuff like that. Anyway, I am out of here. Cameron-san, shut that thing down. Say goodbye to everybody. I'll be back here same time, same station tomorrow morning. Not sure what job we're doing. We will find something.
Okay. See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks everyone for joining us.